Welcome again and welcome back to the Real Double Dose channel. This is your host Lex coming to you straight from the heart where the talk is real and the vibe is always live. Like we always say, taking a slice out of everyday life is what RDDC is all about. For any questions, show requests, or feedback, reach us all the time, anytime at Real Double Dose channel at yandex.com. That's yandex.com, and as well as check out our blogspot and all the wonderful multiple mini pages of awesomeness, and that's at realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com, as well as our RSS feed should be at least the left hand side of the blog at all times. If you want to reach any of those episodes, it'll stem you off from there. And at the end of the blogspot and the about me section, there are links to our books, wonderful different kinds of insights you can find in our sponsors, as well as givemeallthat.com. And also we can be found on TuneIn, Stitcher Radio, Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify, and much more, as well as SoundCloud and YouTube as well, rolling out with our spirit and mind elevation courses, and as well as channel. So tune in for that. Thank you for just being there, and amazingly you, as I always say, and we love you. Tony, Angela, Shyla, all of us, we love you. So I want to get into this double dose, triple dose, loving dose of hashtag who's the boss. Yes, hashtag who's the boss. And this right here is stemming from one of my other great mentors, Mr. Darren H., which is Darren Hardy. Check him out when you get a chance to, darrenhardy.com. But I wanted to, it recycles itself in everyone branching off. But he had a good insight about when it came down to having conversations of the mind, even beyond that point. It was kind of, getting into those moments of who's the boss. Now, stemming off from that, you can check that out in his other episodes. But this one's a little bit into that, but a little bit different. So when I say hashtag who's the boss, I want to ask us a question. And I'm talking to you, so let me ask you a question. And I'm talking to myself via the self. So I'm asking, you know what I mean? Who's the boss of your life? Not just punching into a time clock or scanning or showing up on time to some event, but who is the boss of your life? Let's do some examples. If someone is treating you a certain way or being a certain way with you, not giving you the benefit package, not paying you what you need, overworking you or not working you enough, not giving you motivation or stimulation, who's in charge of that? Okay. It would be who? The boss, right? So when we go in and out of our daily jobs, our daily lives, and we get upset, we do have to take accountability for not necessarily, the things out of our control are out of our control. We can't do much about that. But what is in our control is exactly what's up to us. Sometimes I find myself, and Tony says he finds himself in these retrospects too. But I find myself kind of like, man, I know I have to get to work and I know I have to do it. But sometimes I just want to watch a little bit of GOT, okay, Game of Thrones. Or sometimes I just want to get and it's not the point to say that we can't enjoy little pleasures here and there. But when you have a fundamental foundation of goals and orientation, you have things that you have to do and serve your purpose of, whether it be serving and making sure you're there for your children or your loved one or your life, or just reaching success to the level where you feel like you're the successor. We have to stay on that grind. I can't blame a time clock for that. I can't blame, knowing that I have 6 hours and I spend 4 of those hours doing mindless things that are not going to equivalent to where I'm trying to get too closer, but yet I complain about it later on because I didn't take the initiative to actually take advantage of at least 5 of those 6 hours. That's my problem. So hashtag who's the boss of your life? If you're not giving yourself enough time in your own time clock to accomplish the things that you can succeed on, who do you take responsibility for that? You can't blame your boss when it comes down to some other job. If you know you're not getting paid enough, if you know you're not getting valued for the company you are, whose problem is that? That is the company's problem to a certain point, but it's also our problem because we're not valuing ourselves at the level in which we know we stand. Now, obviously, there's bills and obligation to life. So when this goes triple, double bladed, it's not a disclaimer out there for you to just go say, hey, I don't want to work this week. They're not appreciating me. You have to use common sense and guidance here. You can see the disclaimer and all the links and music copyright links at Real Double Dose channel. You can find those links there. But I'm saying for the super intelligence that we all obtain listening to this, whose problem is that to solve? It's already solved, but it's something that we see as unsolved with the solutions right there. When we go through life and we go through things, when we go through breakups or people cheating on us and we take them back or try to resalvage the abuse that's taken or try to go do things differently and they're just not working out and we spend countless hours and time on something we knew we should have stepped away from, who's the boss of that? We are. We are responsible for everything that we can control. We're responsible for all those wonderful things that we can change the course to, be a part of more and enhance more. The accountabilities that we take within ourselves and our lives are exactly who and what makes us the boss. Yes. I thought about actually having a couple columns of that because that makes sense, but I want to leave this food for thought as well as the food for thought that was given. Who's the boss? Is it going to be some figment of our imagination saying, well, I'm working 40-hour weeks, I got to take care of the kids? And I had one of my friends, let me just put this out here. One of my friends, her name starts with we'll just leave that alone. I'll just say AH, okay, for all intents and purposes. Now, she spoke to me and she was saying, hey, I really want to get into some things and I really want to do some things, but there you go, the but. Yeah, we live with a lot of buts and we sit on them too. It's a legitimate, excuse for her, but at the same time, it doesn't have any merit for what she's saying. And I know at the same time, it fits my life too, because I am dang well guilty of this on a frequent basis, not frequently like others, but it's in there a lot in different ways. But she said, Lex, I have, several kids to take care of, a new relationship, fiance, they have several kids to take care of. We're trying to get this household, school's still in, this is happening. But then all the while you're telling me, man, I want to go on this vacation for $5,000 or $6,000 we need just to get there and get, hotels and travel and everything else for everybody that's coming. We can't do that. We're working 50 hours a week a piece and we can't do that. Our whole lives are nothing but work. We can't do it. So my thing is, whether it be time you need or what you need to produce that time, which money comes a part of a lot of it, and you have a game plan. She clearly had some kind of game plan in head, but it was always, well, I'll wait until this time works for me. Maybe we can collab on something. And I'm like, well, I'm there, people need that. But I look at people and I feel a certain way when they expect me to, well, their kind of mini encouragements are, oh, keep pursuing, do what you do. And I remember Derek Jackson was saying something. You can look him up on Instagram. He was saying something about how people want this kind of consultation from you or the ideas and gifts from you. And then they want to kind of get offended when you don't want to break down the years it took for you to get where you are. It's not because you're reneging on how to make them successful. It's because you had to go through the process of trial and error, and then you had to go through understanding of how you got there as a long journey. And if they're not willing to learn the process of that journey, but then they want the results of what your journey has been, then you have to learn how to say #you're dismissed. Yes, that might be another episode. So not in a mean way, just a very clear way. I wanted to tell her that, but her little optimism of happiness at that moment, I didn't want to pop the bubble, but I was like, yeah, that sounds good. But I know when she might be, quote, prepared in the next few months, I'll be prepared at another level. No matter what level it is, she won't know because she's not a part of that journey. Her journey has to start where it is. So basically, I look at her, and some of them are soul suckers or mind suckers or thought suckers, whatever they want to call them. They want me to put down the pavement and the cement for them so they can walk on a clear path. I am here in my own sense to lead the way for others and to open up a door for it. But at the same time, you got to put your work into it. Doesn't mean you have to grind 80 hours a week and make so much money to do it, but you got to put some kind of effort into everything. Relationship, you got to give effort into giving birth. You have to have effort into providing food and clothes for your children. You have to give effort into even going outside and just planting a hole and nurturing a seed. Everything takes something with energy put into energy. And every time, and I remember I heard from Mr. Bruce Lipton, I hear him for a while, but it really settled in me the other night when he was saying how you have to treat it frugally. Your energy, your time, your currency, your spiritual, mental currency. You just can't hand everyone a $10 bill and expect to have your spiritual, mental, and energy currency to be sitting there with a full bank account. Well, we might get on. See, we're getting some topics here. Yes, we are. So I wanted to just to all sum that up, right? Let's bring that back, RDC families. To sum it up, to say hashtag who's the boss is we're the boss of our own time and lives. We might not have the times that we want, but like I was telling her back to AH, initials, quote, quote, are you making that time? Like, you can't tell me that you're sitting there and you have a 40-something hour work week, but you can't tell me you're sitting there, doing a hashtag I'm out with the movies with my boo, or hashtag I'm going over here to eat dinner, or we're doing this, or we just had fun this weekend. You need that all the time? You're telling me you can't sacrifice yourself for 30 days or even 2 weeks to focus on something that you want part-time to obtain the things that you're trying to do? But yet you can have 2 hours to go hang out here and do this with your kids. You can have this and this to go out to dinner or whatever. And I'm not saying that you don't deserve those things, but if you keep saying you want a different outcome and we keep telling ourselves that we deserve better, are we willing to be the boss of that better that needs to come to us? Who's your boss? Hashtag who's the boss? We are. We're the boss of the destinies that we're given from the time allotted and the opportunities of resourcefulness that we're given, that with the world is full of resources at this moment. So it's always limitless. And all I got to say is that right there for AH, she wasn't, and in my mind right now, she's looking for something that she wants. And I'm just saying, maybe she's in her mid 40s, whatever it is. It doesn't matter if you're in your mid 70s or mid 80s or 90s, mid 20s or 15, 16 or whatever age you are. I know it's different demographics, different age ranges that listen to this segments we are, and thank you. But it doesn't matter, even if you want to start right now. If you're 16, 15, or 13, whatever, you don't have to wait till you're 25 to start. If you're 20, you don't have to wait till you're 22 or 36 to start. Where you take yourself seriously now is the benefits and the fruit that we have. So who's our boss? When we want to sit there and have that meditational time, I tell myself, Lex, who's the boss? Who takes those moments out? Who makes sure that it's implemented every day? When we want to go to the store and get something, who's the boss that's going to put it in the grocery cart? But no matter what it is, you still have ownership and you still control at least your thoughts for all avail. But you still have a huge amount of being the boss of your own decisions and your own path and the choices that you make. And even if you can give yourself half an hour every day out of it and skip an episode once every day or do something and catch up on the weekend, whatever, you still have a choice. And the choice is, are you going to own up and be your boss and realize that everything that comes into play is because you haven't played it well, or you're not looking at the directions on how to play the game? And the game is meant to be exactly how you want it to be. When I look at who's the boss, and I tell people there's nobody but the boss but me, no one owns me but the creator himself and myself, I have to take all that into accountability. I have to look at it and say, man, I am. So I know consciously at this point, being so extra aware and self-aware, I know when I take that extra hour and a half to sit down, even if I bring my niece, like I said in the other episodes, hashtag KFC, I know that it's a sacrifice that I'm taking from it, but I'm willing to figure out strategically how to grind it back out to make up for what I didn't do. Can't make up time, but I can make up for what, or potentially make up for what I missed in that time, somehow, some way. So ultimately, hashtag who's the boss? Who's the boss that predicts what happens to you? Or no matter if you're working overtime or not, there's always a simple way to get exactly what you're looking for somehow. Okay, whether it be a day or so, whatever it be, a question or conversation, whether it be seeking it out. At this point right now, we really don't have many excuses to use, and I hope for her sake, my friend, my dear friend, in her own way, that she finds that out, because I don't know where it'll be a few months from now. I might not even be around in the same vicinity as her. So ultimately I might say, well, I don't have time, because now my level has leveled up to a whole different way. Or me or us looking at the things that we're actually bossing up to is definitely changing the transition of where we're not going to be at anymore. So before, she gets into, I don't have enough money to here and I'm working over here, which a lot of us are constantly doing on the grind. I'm a parent, full-time parent. I have this going on. There's always some kind of way in the crack of the matrix that we're not utilizing the right way. There's always some information that we're not grinding for to know more of. There's always some thing that's waiting for us to discover exactly what we're calling out to existence that's already waiting for us. There's no way around it. It's always opportunity, and it's always there. So just don't forget that. Take that hashtag who's the boss, put that in your mental thought chamber, and remember, you do control that. No matter what restraints you may see, your shackles have been broken a long time ago. You just have to know how to be within the vision of what you know you are. So be the change, feel the passion, embrace the power of that wonderful, beautiful spirit you already have, and just keep striving to be all that you can, basically. So check us out again at realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. Is coming very soon. Like I said, put it out in existence, and as well as different kind of shows we have coming out and different kinds of wonderful awesomeness, and as well as shoot us an email at realdoubledosechannel@yandex.com, yandex.com. And remember, the sky is beyond the limit, and so is the universe. You're amazing. We love you. Stay tuned for more, and we'll be back with you very, very soon.